Welcome into the full podcast. Hopefully, we get everything worked out very well tonight. So, looks like things are a little off. But we're going to get Jessica Jones coming in tonight on a 411 podcast. So, if you could tag your friends, the whole thing that we do here on a 411, bring them right on in. Jessica Jones, I see will serve out there on Instagram. Interested, of course, you can catch Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, on TikTok as well, D Live, Twitch, and we also have Daily Motion. So on Daily Motion, you can get small clips from the show, and you also can get that on TikTok as well. Everything is at Larry Gaines of all social media platforms, and check it out. So now, this is a good one. I haven't listened to Pink in a long time, and I haven't actually listened to this album in a long time, but it came across this week. Earlier this week, this song came up, and I remember that. I remember the whole album, and I remember Specific Out, and it wasn't the traditional Pink that I was used to with the first album. So, first one was more R&B. This one was more, pop. So, you really had to appreciate Pink, and so some of the fans went left, but besides the point. Eight those songs that if you were original Pink fan and you love the R&B from the first album, you were singing some of these songs on the second one, Misunderstood. That means that you were a true Pink fan. And I just remember driving down the highway, all of the trucks and stuff up on the road, and just this song. And when I, dissected all the lyrics, I was actually, this is all. So who knew that something like this obviously can still resonate and make some sense here today in my life. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with 18 Wheeler, but Pink says it all. I don't know, off the bat 100%, but you can push me out the window. You know what she says. She has a lot of stuff. You can treat me like a slave, and I'll go underground. 18 Wheeler, Pink, off of the Misunderstood album, 2001. There's a lot of good things going on in 2001. Of course, my girl, Mary J. Blige, the No More Drama album came out during that time frame. That was the first time that I was actually able to meet Mary. So 2001 definitely was a good year, and I'll never forget it. Just like I'll never forget the people who support. And I want to say thank you so much. We had a great show. What was it, Monday? Yeah, Monday. And Jolie came through, and she's an amazing person. Check her out. And Jolie, watch the replay. We had such a great. I don't know what type of conversation we had, but we definitely went somewhere in a different place. So check out that replay. Also, Mr. Jason T. Davis, I want to say thank you so much, all the way from California. If you are from California, please do me a favor, DM me and let me know exactly what part of Cali you're from. I want to make sure I get this right because I have messed this up in the past, but the beautiful Sarabia, I'm just that. All the way from India, thank you so much. And Roang, all the way from South Korea, thank you. The Elevation Experience, Nisha was going, thank you so much for supporting as well. They're a great powerhouse. So, Saravia, Roang, and Carnisha, they're right there. YouTube at Laren Gaines. We Good, the podcast. Thank you for supporting fellow podcaster Nev King from Australia. Carol Cordera, the beautiful, talented Carol Cordera, which is just amazing from Florida. We have such great history, and the story that Carol and I will tell in the future is just amazing. So great things coming up from Carol Cordera all the way from California. I mean, Florida. Now, speaking of California, Bethany Trent, thank you so much for coming through. She's originally from Trenton. Out to Bethany Trent from the ATL, Miss Lachelle Williams. Thank you so much. And Dr. Stephen Bond, I've seen all of that love that you have been getting from Public Enemy. So shout out to Dr. Stephen Bond from getting some celebrity love from Public Enemy. So that's what's up. And rewind this thing a little bit. Let's back it up. Crying during a funeral versus someone who was smiling and laughing. What's your explanation behind this? So this is the type of conversation that and Jolene, spoke about. So I said we went somewhere. We definitely went somewhere. It was a different type of conversation to what we typically have. But someone who cries during a funeral versus someone who smiles, your explanation behind it. And to sum it up in my terms, what I thought was someone who cries during a funeral, probably it was an unexpected event. They didn't have enough time to get it together, didn't have enough time to prepare themselves emotionally, and they probably are just at a loss, don't know where to go. There's no closure at that point. Versus someone who was smiling and laughing, that person, might have known that this was coming. This was a long time coming. They might have talked about, they might have laughed, they might have cried, they might have planned things out. This is what I would like you to say about me, or what do you think, and so forth and so on. So my personal, explanation behind it, someone who was crying during a funeral to someone who was smiling and laughing and sharing stories. I believe that one, it was, prepared. They had enough time to get, might have even had enough time to converse with the person that they're smiling and laughing about. When I die, this is what I want you to say. When this happens, this is how I want this to play out. Versus someone who is just crying uncontrollably. They suspected and they didn't see it coming. Take it or leave it. That's my explanation. So now, speaking of that, the question that I have to ask each and every one of you out there is, have you lived today as if today will be your last? And I have to start asking myself this question every single day, because when you start to put it in perspective like that, how many of us out there are going to be like, absolutely not. I did not live today as if this was going to be my last day. And I'm not saying it has to be all adventurous. You got to be crazy. You got to be wild. You got to get everything in at the last minute. But this is reality that we live in today. I mean, look at the world that we're in today. Every time you turn around and you put something on, you see something tragic, or you see something that really, and playing common sense when you think back 5 years ago, just doesn't make sense with the world that we're living in today. So this could be your true, really reality behind it, because you never know. None of us are promised tomorrow. So knowing that, I have to get myself in check sometimes and be like, you're not going to let this bother you. You're not going to let it bother you. And have you done everything that you can possibly do, or things in order? Because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, today, no, I did not live today as if it was my last. And if I start thinking like this, I'll make better decisions. My mood and thought process will be in a total different place, which will lead to, for me, I'm going to say ultimate happiness, but a hell of a lot better than worrying about what the hell is going to happen tomorrow and replaying old records from back in the day and not knowing when to hit that stop button and trash and destroy. That's one of the biggest problems that we have in life is we continue to keep reliving situations over and over and over again and not trash and destroy some of those records. I'm gonna reach out to, I guess, Miss Jessica Jones, find out all about what's going on in her neck of the woods. Thank you so much for coming in on the 411 podcast, and we getting ready to do it.
Hello.
Hello. What's going on?
So much for
To the 411.
Yes, sir.
So, I had a question out of nowhere. Have you lived today as if today would be your last?
Have I lived today if today was my last day to live? No.
I know I said the same thing. So when you say no, it's like at least it makes me think like, all right, well, we need to do something about that because like I was saying, in the world that we living in today, that reality, you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yes, that is true. I would definitely say that, like, especially as a business owner, like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it's a business owner, just as a person in life, living. If you haven't lived to your fullest and you operate fear, only for myself but for everybody, because there's things that I have not done. Judgment. And yet I should do it because you never know who it can help.
That is so
or
true.
Can help you.
That is so true. Fear equals failure. And that's one of the things that I continue to tell myself time and again. Fear equals failure. And, you know, it's reality. Your mind will constantly play tricks on you. Just when you think you got it, you know, something comes up that will trigger something and take you back. So when that happens, I have to tell myself fear equals failure. And then I snap myself right up out of it very quick.
I like that fear equals failure. Like, I'm so scared of that. Just because a lot of times in this world we live in, it's a social media world, and we can look at people and be like, oh my God, they're operating in their purpose. They're doing something better than me. You know what? I'm just not going to do it because I'm afraid. But you never know what you're actually supposed to do. You never know how many people have that's not actually doing what they're supposed to do, or they portray that they're very successful and they're not.
I ask every day to please make sure that I'm on the right path, doing the right things that I'm supposed to be doing, because everything that you're speaking is so true. And I've seen it where people are not operating. I'm gonna just leave it alone, but you know what I'm saying. And they put on a lot of things on themselves that is not really for them to carry because they saw somebody else with it.
Like, that is only reason I bring that up is because maybe this week was supposed to happen for me because my podcast with you was coming. What I mean by that is I've experienced a situation where I knew two people were talking about me or saying certain things. So you know how sometimes people plant seeds?
Oh, yeah.
Or not even just that. So some people can see your destiny, and some people can see where you're supposed to be at before you can see.
Oh yeah. See, that's good too because you know, for me anyway, I always tell people I can't see what you see.
Exactly. So with me this week, there are some people that were in my circle or anything. They can see where I'm supposed to, where I can see it because sometimes my heart is a period. I want people to succeed, and some people can see that before you can see where your destiny is going to be. And they may use that. They're like, you know what? I can see she's a little fearful. I can see he's a little fearful. So let me play on it because you can't do better than me. So let me play on that. And with that being said,
oh, I get
now,
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So they play on your fears, and now you have delayed what is meant for you because people that can see your destiny now make you pause and think like, is this for me? Do I supposed to do this? And now your biggest fears come about.
I can feel you on that one. I believe that. I believe people are also planted too, because the creator knows everything, right? But and then he knows what fears you have and when you're gonna flake out and when you're not. And you can ask, you ask, you shall receive, but we don't receive, I believe, because we're not really ready. So when we ask for these things, there's these little situations, these experiences, that's a good word, that are planted along the way to see if you're really ready or not. And during those experiences, how you operate, whether you go left or you go right, that will determine whether you're going to get what you asked for today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I can understand that as well. That makes a lot of sense. Like,
so on the people who talk, the people who come in and they don't want you to do better than them, or they try to, pull you off course. Sometimes we can't be mad. And I've learned, and I think that this has actually helped me become the man that I am today. It's the first time that something goes sour, I'm ready to, rip somebody's face off, curse them out, this, that, the next, the other. This is my life story the whole time. You did this to me. You did this to me. Sometimes I sit back and I say, all right, God, I see it. I know you brought this person in my world to show me something. So let me not get so upset, because ultimately, you got my best interest. So you ain't going to let things fold up and go south 100% as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, this person came in and showed up and showed out and did whatever they did. I'm cool with it because I'm still walking in the right path now. If I was going left and doing something crazy, then that's a whole total, different story. Sometimes the people that come in and that do you wrong, just think, follow me for a minute. Just, it's not all bad all the time. If you got your mind right and your mental is good, people who come in talk about you, damn well they talking about you. They grimy, they greasy, they just, that's who they are. But when you don't react to it, I think that's when you win.
And I will agree to that too, because I think this time, my learning lesson, and that's something I should have put out there too. My learning lesson that God is preparing me for, or why He let the things happen to me this week, is teaching me how to move and operate in silence and knowing when to speak when there are things that He's blessed me on. He doesn't need me to be in the forefront, but He has to be in the forefront. So that is one thing that I've learned this week. And why those things happen, because He's showing me at
Yeah, I used to talk a lot. I used to always have to win every single argument. I was that one. I had to have the last word. But what I've learned so much within these past 30 days is that when I'm having a disagreement with somebody, I don't have to say a word. I don't have to say one word. And when I do speak, after listening, because I got to listen first, the words are just so powerful because I had enough time to think about it. I had enough time to say the right things, being very mindful, make sure that we ain't hurting nobody else, during this process. because that's not what it's about. It's about getting it out, saying how you gonna say it, whether you like it or you don't like it, and moving on. But when you can move on and know that you ain't hurt nobody, nothing malicious, you ain't been attacking anybody, you said your piece and you said your truth behind it, and you keep it moving. Trust and believe.
Yes, and then the thing also, when people overtalk you, I'm a non-confrontational person, meaning like, if me and you was to have a debate right now, if you're not emotionally mature to hear me out and I hear you out, and it's an actual dialogue and a conversation, but as soon as I say something, you're like, no, 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 no. That's when I was like, you know what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're not ready for this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're lying about, or maybe it's something that you like. You may not be emotionally mature to handle certain things. And there are grown people out here in their 30s, 40s that are not emotionally mature, but because of their age, they feel that we're all not.
I would say for me becoming mature like that to have a conversation, I'm keeping it real within the past year because I thought I had it right 100%, and then jumped out there and got into a couple situations with people and was still cursing people out and still not knowing how to communicate properly. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a process. It's an everyday learning process. I would say that me, I've experienced a healing process and still healing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've experienced an emotional maturity process. Does not mean that I'm fully emotional healed because I don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna continue to keep learning as I grow.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you get to that point, there are certain situations that you look at and be like, hey, ooh, or as you just said, it's a test that you may have went through. And now I'm like, okay, I don't went through this test already, so let me know how to handle this better because those are things those are things that are going to continue to happen. Is a test to define who you are, and if you keep failing the test, it's going to keep coming.
Absolutely. Listen, I have taken the same course over and over and over again 1,000 times, and I truly believe that this whole thing called life, this is a game. So what you gonna do? And when I start thinking about it like that, in this whole process, trying to become the master of my own mind, I'm gonna play the game right. And I'm like, all right, I've seen this. This is a test. I ain't gonna do this. Of course, what? You're gonna continue to keep walking down the same street knowing that there's a big old pothole and fall into it. How many times you gonna get it together before you realize? And unfortunately for some of us, it's longer than others. But don't you want to win this game?
Yeah.
You know?
And women, and sometimes I don't think life is always about yourself either. It's things that you have to learn in life for yourself to make yourself better, but also to help others. Like I really believe in helping others. So that's one thing. Like your platform is here to help others put themselves out there, which is amazing.
Thank you.
But then you're being real about who you are. So now you make it comfortable for me to sit here and talk to you and be like, look, let's get real.
I know. I just want to say, like, this when you came on, we just started talking like crazy. So I didn't ask you where you're calling from, and we didn't even get into the whole this yet. So we could do that now. So where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Dallas, Texas, y'all. The Texas, the state that everybody moves to.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah. I have not been to Texas, but I want to. I heard the weather is crazy, and
it is
just outright crazy. It does whatever it wants to do. So, what's the weather like now?
A hot, like hell hot.
I love that. That's where I'm trying to be. What's the temperature like?
Today it was like 100, but this past weekend,
yep, that's what I'm about.
Let me tell you, it was like 107, 105, 104. I was like, listen, let me go out.
I love all of that. That's great. So now,
go ahead. You can have it because it gets hot out here.
I want that. So you in 90s right now, and I'm in the 70s. I'll trade. anytime. Let's trade.
Oh, okay, hold on, wait. The 70s, because the 70s here mean it feel good outside. You can go out, you gotta have no jacket. It feels real good. So your type of 70s is kind of like a cold.
Well, I don't feel real comfortable until it's like 80. So for me, I'm gonna say
Okay.
that that's cold, but most people would be like, no, it's not. But for me, I have to be real hot. 80s, I'm
So
comfortable. 90s, I'm like, it's hot. You know.
okay.
um. So the business, Love Jones connection. Are you a Love Jones
Pretty.
creations
Oh, look at you.
connection?
You gave me a new name, but listen, it's okay because at one point I did want to be Love Jones Connections because I do connect people by my event. So
Oh.
I about changing my name to Love Jones Connections like last year sometime,
Mm-hmm.
but being fearful of thinking that someone was going to think that I was following someone else's path that I did not change my name.
Mm. Well,
That is the only reason. But
okay.
Love Jones Creations is a event coordinator business for corporate business, and also I do events um, that will help small businesses expand or get their name out there. Vendor showcases. I actually have an event this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
A hit networking hit social this weekend. So I have that going on to help people that's out there, small businesses, brand like they can come get a brand and shoot for a cheaper price. Because I think like a minimum price is like 500. They can do it for a cheaper price, and they just come in, bring their stuff, take pictures.
Okay. Okay. Now, how long have you been doing all of this?
I've been doing events since I was 13 with my auntie's company.
Okay. Okay.
She's been a business owner. She's been the first legit business owner in my family. But I've been doing it with her since I was 13. I've had my own business since I was about
Five.
uh,
5 years old.
but 5 years old. No. I wish.
Well,
I
yeah.
wish my family knew about that. Like, start knowing to put businesses in our
I'm
name.
sure. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. Because I used to have like, if I could count up all of the businesses that I had in my mind, the stuff that I created as a kid, all the way up until now, the ones that failed, the ones that I won't even tell you about. I must have had at least 20 already.
He said 20.
Yeah.
Well, my first business, I was around about, I was in college. First business was hair, but that had nothing to do with this. So my first event coordinator business or doing events was, I was about 28, 29,
Mm-hmm.
27 actually, and I was in Houston. And then I moved here and I rebranded my business. Because Houston and Dallas, even though they're in the same state,
Mm-hmm.
they're two different
Okay.
and they are two different markets.
All right. What's the difference between the two? Somebody who
Houston
don't
is
know. I said somebody who don't know, like me. What's gonna be the difference between the two?
Houston is an entrepreneur city. You definitely can go there with no education, no nothing, and you can start a business, and everybody's gonna flock to you. And that's because Houston is more like it's kind of like New York. You have
Mm-hmm.
all these different cultures that come to Houston, and they may not have education, they may not have any of that, and you can legit start a business, and everyone will support you. Dallas is a corporate city. Dallas
Sure.
number five in America. It's one of the top corporate cities. So here they look at a degree. You have to have a degree. You have to have paperwork behind your name to succeed a little bit here. If not, you have to have a good business structure, meaning you have to have paperwork, you have contracts, it has to
Now,
look
I know
like that.
exactly what you coming from. So, seeing both sides of the fence, right? Which one do you
Mm-hmm.
prefer?
Both.
You
Both.
prefer?
I prefer both.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I prefer both is because I think it is okay to have the structural side, and I think it's okay to learn that side, but because you're able to teach people that. Because when you are really trying to be a legit business, those are things that you're going to have to know. But also, I think it's good that you can come from nothing and have it. Because to me, schooling don't teach you as much as the world can.
Of course, and it's set up like that on purpose, but that's besides the point, you know.
Yeah, because I have 3 years of college. I did not finish. I quit my 3rd year because I was like, I am not learning nothing. So I literally quit my 3rd year of college and was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go travel. And that's what I did. I traveled.
You're like the second person who came on the podcast and said that. They just said, I'm gonna go ahead and travel.
I went on here to travel, learn more from. Actually, I've learned more from the millionaires or the people that don't have no degrees or people that are small business owners in Houston than I've learned when I was in school.
That's deep.
And that's being serious because I'm gonna let you know something. I'm in Dallas, and in Dallas, I see so many businesses saying, "Oh, I gotta get my LLC. I gotta get it." But when I was in Houston, I was told by a millionaire, it is stupid to get an LLC when you can act as sole proprietorship, and a sole proprietorship and an LLC is the exact same thing. The only difference is a sole proprietorship where you is your business, and the LLC works for the government, meaning now they can track your money.
This
sole proprietorship, they don't track your money as much.
This is the thing I have to say. I have done both. I know where you're coming from. I would be like, all right, I got this business set up, but I gotta have this. Fill out all of that stuff, get all of the legal stuff, and drive myself half crazy just to get it together. Then you still gotta hustle to make the thing work because just because you thought it ain't don't mean that all of a sudden once you put it together it's going. So I've seen that side of it. Been discouraged, been disgusted by it. So now the type of person that I am today is like I'm taking it back to where people be operating back in the day when they was selling CDs out of their trunk. You know, that's the type of mind frame that I'm in right now. But until somebody comes knocking at the door saying you done sold too much, you done did too much, this, and this has to come, let me get that point because then I'm really doing something at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where.
But I also tell people to get an S corp or C corp or let's work on trademarks. Let's go. You have to, like again, as you said, to the level or I don't want to establish myself as well.
All of that extra stuff. Trust and believe. There's all these little things set up. Somebody gonna tell you when you need to fill this paperwork out. Someone's gonna tell you when you need to apply for this, and it's that's the mind frame that I'm in today. After going through so many different situations where overthinking, being a perfectionist, gotta have this set up, have that set up, through all of this, spend all of this money, and now you got to struggle to make the business work because anybody that knows what they're talking about when it comes to businesses, you ain't really making no money within the first year or two. You really ain't. So these people who we ain't gonna do that tonight. Just leave it alone. Leave it right there.
We had a real conversation. It'd be like a 2-3 hour podcast over here talking about everything.
I'm sure. Look how it started off. I don't believe that anybody, maybe once or twice that has happened, but where you answer the phone and we just start talking like that. That's very rare that happens. But so a message was needed tonight. I'm sure somebody's going to get something out of it. And as we get ready to get into burning questions, that's going to take us to a whole nother level as well. So, but before we do that, if you can go ahead and let people know where to follow you at. I know you're on Instagram. I don't know if you're on, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, any of that stuff. So if you could let us know, that'd be great.
I am on Instagram. The platform I use the most is Instagram. I do have TikTok and Facebook right now. Facebook, we're working out. If somebody tries to hack me, so we're working out on Facebook. But Instagram, you have Jones.of.all.trades. So Jones of all trades without between it. And then your company, Love _ Jones under creation. So yeah, both of those. And TikTok, it's Jessica Jones. You can follow that. But I mainly use Instagram. Also, I do have a website, www.lovejonescreations.com. You can go see some of my things, some of the partnerships I work with, all of that on there.
LoveJonesCreations.com. That's what's up. So I want to talk about the little Facebook thing real quick, and we ain't gonna spend too much time on that. But so someone tried to play games on your page.
Yeah, see, you remember when I told you guys told me I need to shut up and start moving in silence? I started talking about how I was getting paid for my reels. And someone was telling me, oh, you got to have like 5,000 members, get paid for your, like 5,000 followers. And I was like, no, you don't. I have like 900 to 1,000. I said, but my followers are real. I said, once you start being able to buy followers, social media does not go off of that anymore. They go off engagement now. So I was getting paid for my reels. I was about to get a cash out, and then all of a sudden, someone tried to add me, and now all my stuff is in Spanish. Every time I try to get a recovery code or something, it sends to me in Spanish, and I'm just like, God, fix it. Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. Want to do stuff like that. I hear so many stories. So many of my friends, they go through issues where their pages are just hijacked, everything like that. And the hard work that these people put into it is terrible.
Yeah, it is. It made me sad. And I think I kind of had to wait like 10 days because I kind of blocked myself because I kept submitting. I was like, why? Because I kept submitting that, hey, I'm Pat type situation. And it kept sending back to me in Spanish, and I guess I was doing something wrong. So then it was like, no, your account is actually locked. Just because I submitted too many recovery tips, I have to wait a certain time frame before I can do another recovery attempt. And I'm just like, Lord, come on now. So hopefully I'm able to get it posted.
Yeah, it'll be good. It took me a while to get back on TikTok. I was off for like 2 months almost. But we are back on TikTok, and I'm glad. I'm thankful. Thankful for all of these experiences that we go through. So now,
just makes us stronger.
Absolutely, because I know exactly what not to do over there. But we're gonna get into burning questions now. So this is a segment of the show where I basically flip it and put my guests in the hot seat. So this is a question. I've been waiting for this one. And this was set up specifically for you because this whole show is specifically for you. So burning question tonight is, how would you feel if your deepest addiction, and you could even change the word to addiction, you can change it to secret, but how would you feel if your deepest addiction was exposed? So you wake up tomorrow and the whole world knows what you don't want us to know about. So what would be your first line of action or your first line of defense? What would you do?
It is what it is, my boy. No, I'm just playing. So, I don't really have people think that I'm lying. No. I'm going to tell you. I don't have one that I'm embarrassed about because I'm an open book. I've been told all my life to talk too much. I've been told all my life from my family, friends, you don't got to say everything because I'm an open book. And you're going to be like, Jessica, did you go out there and do that? I did. Who's going to fight you? That's been my line for so many years. But there is one thing that I have secretly done for like just started doing it. Like literally, my little sister came live with me, and I started doing it. And I used to be embarrassed of it, and like probably like I can say I'm still a little embarrassed of it. Probably, but like 2 weeks ago, I just started saying, man, if somebody see me do it, oh well. And when I tell you this, don't laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Eating corn starch.
I'm
so serious.
This is the one that you want to tell me is your deepest addiction. I'm not listening to this.
No, seriously, because if you come to ask me about my sex life, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I did it. Well, if you come and ask me about my business, yeah, I did what it is. If I lied about something and you put me in the hot seat and be like, oh, just you lied about it, I'm gonna be like, I probably lied about it because I want to see X, Y, Z. Because you remember how I just said, like, you plant seeds. I might come and be like, I might tell a complete lie to someone and be like, well, you know, such and such said this because I need to see who, and that's a downfall of mine.
Oh yeah, I would say that is a tricky road. I get what you're saying, but
I like thinking off the top of my head, like literally right now.
I would tell you. Yeah, go ahead.
I can truly say, like thinking off the top of my head right now, I can't think of any secret that I'm just like it's a secret. I can't.
Well, you said the whole cornstarch thing. I can feel you on that. I used to do that with flour as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get it.
I was embarrassed of it. I was like, I used to hide. I used to hide and be like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. People are gonna laugh at me for eating cornstarch. And then I started actually one of my it's not even a cousin, my cousin's wife or whatever. One day she just was sitting in the car driving. She pulled it out. I was in her passenger seat. She pulled it out and started just eating it. Oh, stop! You eat cornstarch too?
Oh no, it just sounds so crazy. So it's going to the point where we ain't just around the kitchen, just doing whatever. No, we just outright go our own separate packages of cornstarch to carry it around.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not like it's just around the house. It's like, my cornstarch is like, oh, I'm out of cornstarch. Let me go buy some more. And like, I don't know why I just got hot. Literally, I just got hot. You got me telling my secrets out here.
Well, I said, how would you feel? I didn't tell you to say it, but I said, how would you feel?
Oh, well, it's too late. I'm saying it
now. Yeah. I would say, if I woke up tomorrow and my deepest addiction or secret was exposed, my first line of defense would be like, now you know damn well that you're going through the same thing too. Get out of here.
Okay.
I'll be like, you know what? I ain't the only one, so it is what it is.
You know what? That's what I said. I couldn't even. I don't know how to kind of like relate to that part, just because. Seriously, I've always been an open book. I've always thought like my family growing up made me feel like, and I don't know if it's like up there like it is in the South. What happens in this house stays in this house type places. I've always been like, no, that don't make sense.
Wait,
like, why you gotta keep it
can you go back and say it again? What do they say down south?
What happens in this house stays in this house.
Yeah, we've all heard that before.
And so I just, to me, it didn't make sense. Like I've had the family tell me, don't tell Jessica nothing because she say something. It hasn't been like a situation. Oh, I'm not snitching on myself either. If you ask me anything about myself, I did it. Like in college, my name was Jessica, like and it's because I'm just like I call people out on stuff, and I'm like, well, you know what, I did it too. And it's not to call them out to embarrass them. but we're all human, and so many people hide their flaws, and hiding your flaws in the dark actually is things that cause depression, sadness, and all these other things.
Yeah.
And let's expose it. Let's talk about it. Like, if we can talk about it, you're able to get past it. You're able to, work through it and actually have someone in your corner to help you work through it. So it's not like I'm just trying to expose you to be like, to talk about you, but like, let's talk about it so we can get better together.
Right. Spoken words of truth. Miss Jessica Jones, all the way from Texas. Now, Dallas, Texas. I couldn't remember, but I got it now. Dallas, Texas. And we got Creations. If you can, and it's at lovejonescreations.com, but you're on Instagram and you're on TikTok and Facebook as well. Is it all the same social media handle, or is it different for the different ones?
My business, Facebook did not get hacked, which thank you. But my business Facebook is Love Jones. You're gonna see my logo. My logo is a beautiful rose gold and black logo. This is Love Jones Creations. It's gonna be on all of my social media. And it is Love Jones Creations on everything. And then Jones of All Trades, Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah.
Is on the other hand. So Jones of All Trades is on Instagram. Jessica Jones, and uniquely just is spelled Jessika. So if you go out there and put a C, you're gonna find me. But Jessica Jones, Jessika, you'll find me on TikTok. Jessica Jones #3 on TikTok, and then Jones of All Trades with dots between it on Instagram, and then love_Jones_creations on Instagram, and then Facebook is Love Jones.
I love Jones of All Trades. I like that.
Yes. And then my website, www.lovejonescreations.com.
That's what's up. I want to say thank you so much for coming. Thank you for speaking your truth. I don't know what happened tonight, but what happened was magic.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Because the way we started talking right off the bat.
Don't tell me I lost you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Oh, I hear you now.
I'm sitting here telling you stuff. I was saying that I don't know what happened tonight, but what happened was magic, because when you came in and we started talking right off the bat, like stuff like that don't happen. And it seems like we were, just in sync or in tune with each other. And the conversation just flowed so well. And it was just real tonight.
It was. It seemed so natural. I would say that it did really seem natural.
And I love the vulnerability. You tell it like it is, and people learn. So anybody out here who's want to start a business, has a business, you might be going back and forth in your mind as far as what you want to do. May not want to do what the next step is. You got something tonight, at least a point where you can, dig a little more deeper or take it to another level. So you definitely are eligible. So y'all go ahead and check her out. Never know. You might help.
That's what I'm here for. I am literally just a side note. And I'm sorry, I know we're going to get off of here. When I do my vendor showcases, or anyone is coming to ask me knowledge, I am willing to give you that. Granted, a lot of people charge you for that, but I'm about building connections. So if I do a vendor showcase and this person comes representing themselves in a way they should not be represented, after the showcase is over, talk to me and be like, hey, where is it that you want to go? Let's figure out how to do this together. So I'm really big on teaching. What's that? The saying they say, teach one, each one.
Yeah.
It's so much that.
Yeah. Well, I love that whenever I go to different, parts of the country, I always connect with people, and I make it my business to, link up with, someone from the show that I met. So definitely, if I ever go to Texas, I'm definitely going to reach out to you. Definitely would love to have a face-to-face conversation.
No problem. I'll be here. Just let me know.
All right, that's what's up. Take care, and of course,
Be there. Hopefully, I see you as well. Have a
what a great show tonight. Now, I don't know what's going on out there, but it seems like the connection keep going up, down, and out. But it is what it is. I still think it is an amazing show, and hopefully, once everything is all said and done, the important stuff is not lost. So, if you would like to go ahead and support, please go ahead on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, D Live, TikTok, Twitch. You can go inside of volume 1.5 Remix Journal and purchase my new book for $7.99. There's also a drop a donation, and not forget the biggest thing that you can like, comment, share, tag a friend, do whatever you need to do. Something as simple like that doesn't even cost you a dime. Help support the Forum Podcast and Between Wines. So again, I apologize for the technical difficulties that on tonight, but I'm sure that people out there listening, once they go through the replay, the best parts will still be there. I'm confident that the best parts will be there. Very special thank you to my guest, Jessica Jones. And she said it. And see you when I see you. And of course, before I get out of here, I only have to executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, will allow to come out here and give you the Forum one more time in life. Without him, none will be possible. And without each and every one of you out there, so can checking me out. Listen, I love all of the love that I get from all of y'all out there. People who DM me, who check up on me. I want to say what's up to Regina, Honestly Vegan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I saw Will Serve out there. Melissa, I saw out there. So many different people who came through. And of course, there's so many people out there that I can't even see. So thank you all. And I'll see you when I see you. Thank you so much. Take care, y'all. And have a good night.